Good morning, guys. This is Danny here at ParTay. So a little groggy this morning. I got in kind of late last night from flying in from Toronto, but I just wanted to give you guys an update here on some of the things that were covered. Very good trip. So we did procure some research and development funding, so we can continue to work on some of our well, it's a mixture of somewhat novelty, not totally novelty, but somewhat novelty and some practical solutions for folks. So we've got our silhouette screens, the artisan screens or graphic screens that we've been working on. A lot of excitement around that. We're also going to be moving into acoustically transparent territory with PVC. So it won't be lycra fabric or anything like that. So we're going to be going straight perforated PVC. We're going to start working our dual-sided screens. That is a screen where you can actually change out the screen without changing it. You don't have to remove the screen, and you don't have to do any kind of flip mechanism or anything like that when it's mounted on the wall. So really excited about that as well. And we're going to continue our work on transitional screens. Now, we've had some success in some of the early prototyping, and what those transitional screens are is essentially they work like transitional lenses. So once UV light to a certain degree hits a screen, the screen would darken in that area to help balance some of the balance your image. So if you have a section of your screen that gets hit, and this is really for people that have like window light, if they have a section of the screen that gets hit with bright light at a certain part of the day, it'll help to balance out the image, so you don't have a washed out corner or washed out side, things like that. So I got my laundry list of things here I'm going to cover. Next would be our website. So ParTay will be going underneath or undergoing, excuse me, a little bit of a rebranding. It's still going to be ParTay, but and that won't change. But we're going to be parking everything under an LLC, and we'll be changing our logos and things like that. And working towards getting our website up. The website should be operational prior to 2019, and we're going to focus there initially on more tactical purchase. And we do have some install. We'll partition the install portion because right now it's just more of a local install offering. But we will be looking to further and developing install hubs here in the southeast region. We'll start with a smaller region and see how that goes. And then if that goes well, then we'll look to expand that out sometime between 2019 and 2020. But we'll start with the more tactical purchase solutions for folks out there that are accessing us through Facebook, Instagram, and even some of the folks that are out there on YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, on our YouTube channel front, so we're going to be moving to weekly updates. Now, that may be that we have 2 or 3 videos that come out a week, but it won't be daily anymore. And we're going to be putting out informational videos focusing on our screen updates, advertisements, and we'll also be looking for topics from our viewers out there. So any topics around projection, around projectors, around especially we tend to focus more on ultra short throws, but we're working more with long throws now as far as test. Working to get some reviews on certain long throws. So just be patient, and you'll see more of that start to come out from us. And then let me just hit on again any topics that you guys would like to see covered. We're going to start offering just an email site that you can email ParTay. It won't be my personal right now. My personal email site is what people access me through, but we're going to set up the business email. I mean, that's easy enough to do. The only reason I haven't done it is because we didn't have a website to link it to at the time. So now we will. On to more trivial kind of stuff, and I say trivial because I'm going to address something that come up recently, and then we're going to move on from this, and I'll tell you why. March Madness had offered a challenge out there. And let me first say that, March Madness, while the conversation did not start out necessarily well, it's been somewhat civil, and I appreciate that. It's good whenever a community can debate and have some back and forth without things being ugly or things being, I don't know. I just, I find Luminous 4K's behavior to be not only disgusting but also cowardly. But let me first address March Madness. So the challenge was put out. So March, we're going to be procuring a Smith Vector spotlight, similar to the one that you use, 600 watts, and I'll address the specs and some of the potential manipulations that could go on there. I'm not saying that they are, but I'm just going to show you full blast, and I'm going to show you some of the things that we also understand about Smith Vector spotlights. And then my final thoughts on Luminous 4K. So here's the deal, guys. 7 years, no innovation, same slop he's been pushing for years now. I saw where he actually had a video posting where he was developing a new silver. And here's what's funny. He just said maybe 3-4 weeks ago he wasn't even going to develop anything else because he had hit the pinnacle. This was the pinnacle of his development. Well, obviously it wasn't. I say obviously. The truth is, I believe it is, and I believe he's doing nothing but just rebranding his AG47 silver whatever stuff that he had, platinum that he had before, and now he's just calling it something new. I think you guys all get that anyway. But the biggest thing is here, you got a guy who hides behind his camera, has his folks come out and defend him because I think personally he's too big of a coward to defend himself. And outside of the defense, you don't even allow your customers to post reviews. You don't want those reviews to be seen because you know that would be detrimental to your business. Because there's so many unhappy people with your product out there. I know because I've only been in this game for a short while. But the truth is that I've got customers of yours that are coming to me that tell me exactly how blue Smurf everything looks on your paints, regardless of which one, because they bought different ones. And your own folks that have come to your defense have not really helped your case so much because the reality is one of them even stated that you and your people weren't really worried about color accuracy. You weren't worried about resolution. You just wanted a shiny image, right? And that's from the words of your folks directly. So, you have to wonder, why it is that you claim that you make the best of anything out there when the truth is yours seems to be one of the worst that are out there on the market and also the most expensive. So, buyer beware. You guys buy into it, you do it at your own risk. But here's the thing that you can't overcome. More people know now. And you're going to have to do something doubly hard. I can sense the desperation in your voice when I watch your videos now. I'm sure your business has declined to some degree. And you also have to, here's another thing that you guys should question. I saw the video where he put out that he was selling like 10 or so gallons of this stuff to a church. Now, March Madness, this is nothing at you personally, but, in your video that is sponsored by Luminous 4K, and he's pushing people to that video, you dropped the MF bomb, I don't know how many times. No church, any church, decent church, that would be doing business with you, and this is why I don't believe that they are, but any church that would be doing business with you would distance themselves from you lickety-split. They'd drop you like a hot potato because they're not going to be involved with somebody who gutturally would push people to that kind of video. You can't sponsor those kind of videos if you're going to do houses of worship, brother. That tells me right there that you're not doing them. That this is all just another facade, one of many that you've done. And once again, you've been cowardly. You won't come out. You won't discuss these things and have a dialogue, right? Since there's no need, so you let, essentially your crew come out and defend for you. So, I have no respect for that whatsoever. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to push the button on what I told you I was going to do. I've drugged my feet all this time, and right now you're not worth my time to deal with you anymore. So I'm going to push the button on what we discussed, and we're going to move forward because we got some really exciting things that are going to be coming out for folks. So you guys stay patient. Things are going to be rolling out pretty quick, and take care. Bye, guys.